This is Hair Loss Alchemy, the Hair Loss Alchemy channel. Here we take a non-scientific approach to hair loss. So no conventional science, all the drugs, the DHT blockers, the vasodilators, tried them, didn't work. No biohacker science, the autophagy, the intermittent fasting, the insulin resistance, the ketosis crap. Tried that, didn't work, doesn't grow any hair. So now I'm on to alchemy, which is spiritual science. And one branch of alchemy is traditional Chinese medicine. It deals with energy, imbalances. Energy being, energy is kind of like this meaningless term that's kind of thrown around loosely nowadays. But the way I talk about it is the life force, mostly. That's the insubstantial energetic consciousness that courses through our body. And why I'm concerned with this is because, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing this silly thing on my head. These are weighted bean bags. They're applying pressure here and here. What I'm trying to do is reshape my skull to be more angular at the hairline. And so like that, as opposed to no sharp angle, just round domeness. Top of the head, forehead, I want a sharp angle in my skull contour at the hairline, because that's what I believe grows a good hairline. Look at anyone with good hair, they have a flat forehead and then it turns sharply to the top of their head. For men with male pattern baldness, and for toddlers too, what you'll see is there's this bulging in the forehead and the top of the head, and that obscures that sharp contour, meaning like there's no sharp angle anymore. It's just this gradual roundness, and then the body, for some reason, doesn't grow hair there anymore when there's not a sharp angle that separates your forehead from the top of your head. So I'm trying to recontour my skull. Now the underlying cause of that change in skull contours, which I believe changes over time, changes after puberty. For toddlers, it flattens out over time as the bulge flattens out, and the forehead flattens out, and they get a contour, and then they have hair. But for men, we have that sharp contour in childhood, and then for some reason it bulges out. The reason being, I think, is because of an energetic imbalance. So talking about energy, about alchemy, particularly a male energy imbalance. So male energy is the energy of doing. It's the energy of the heavens. It's rising energy. It's heat. Whereas female is the energy of receptiveness. It's energy building, storing. It's the energy of the earth, so it goes down. So male pattern, or male energy balance, you have a upward direction in all the life force coursing through your body. It's concentrating in the skull, I think, and then pushing the skull out and causing that sharp contour to go away. So like it just pushes out the forehead and top of the head, and you get this rounding effect. So first I had a vertical forehead and then a flat top of my head, but then it bulges out, and that sharp angle goes away from bulging in the forehead, top of the head. So my approach is to rebalance my energetic constitution. So I am a male, so I will naturally have an upward push in the life force, an upward concentration. It's probably why we have big heads and broad shoulders, and females have wide hips, because male energy goes up, female energy goes down, and it pushes out, makes you broad where the energy concentrates, the life force concentrates. So as an effort to, part of my efforts to rebalance my male imbalance, my male energy imbalance, I'm trying to make some dietary changes. I'm emphasizing foods that are yin, or female in nature. Yin is the traditional Chinese medicine term for female. So foods that have female energy. These are foods, so food has an energetic effect, not just a caloric effect. It has an effect on our life force, an effect on the organ systems, energetically, the qi, the life force that flows through them. So some foods are more male. Male foods are yang foods or yang foods, and they generate heat in the body, which has a drying effect. And that's a problem. It's not a problem in that it's all bad. Like there are yang foods for a reason. There's a yang that exists in nature for a reason. It balances out the yin. But I have a yang imbalance, too much male. So I'm generating too much heat, too much drying, and that's a problem because that affects the kidney system. And the kidney system in traditional Chinese medicine is responsible for our essence, it's all responsible for our hair, but also like it comes from the essence, which is the most yin form of energy, and it needs moisture. The kidneys need moisture, and they generate all the structure in our body. That's the essence. The raw material that generates everything in our body comes from our kidneys. So the kidneys need ample amount of moisture in order to generate all the tissues in our body, including our hair. If they don't, then you're going to have problems, hair loss being one of them, but there are other symptoms of too much yang and not enough yin. So anyway, foods that are very yang are going to dry up the moisture, and that's already getting dried up from just our lifestyle. Because in modern living, we have a yang, male kind of lifestyle. We're always going, we're always doing, we're always thinking. We don't take time to meditate, to rest, and to conserve energy. There's a pressure. What we've got to do, we've got to achieve. And those things are good, but it has to be balanced out. And we're too overbalanced male. Not anti-male, I'm just noting there's a problem, and I'm trying to figure out why there's a problem, and I'm going off this ancient wisdom stuff. So anyway, the foods that are going to help the kidneys generate moisture are going to be the yin foods. They have a cooling effect in the body, a moisture building, and that's going to benefit the kidney yin system and help conserve energy. So it's going to have like an anti-aging kind of effect. Right, we need the energy of doing, but we also need to conserve energy. Otherwise, we're going to have age-related illnesses like male pattern baldness. So these are the animal foods that I, based on my research and understanding, that I think are going to have the greatest yin, female energy building effect to help balance out the overly yang male imbalance that is causing male pattern baldness, causing the skull to bulge out, to expand in certain areas. That energy to concentrate in the skull. I want to draw that energy down, nourish the kidney system, nourish my female energy. I'm not going to be walking around in high heels, right? That's not like, you know, the new age thing. Well, get in touch with your feminine side. Like that's kind of what you think. Like, oh, am I supposed to just watch Katherine Heigl movies and wear lipstick? No, that's not rebalancing female energy. That's not building female energy. You don't have to cross-dress to build female energy. You just have to understand the two polarities, and you can still be very masculine. And that appeals to me more than wearing dresses, eating animal foods. Like that's man stuff still, but it's going to have a yin female tonifying effect, and that's just the balancing out. That's the energy saving. That's the anti-aging. So anyway, in somewhat of a particular order, I don't know, some of these could, I don't know if this is like my official 1 through 10 list, but it's approximately the top 10 in order. So number 1 is pork kidney. So in traditional Chinese medicine, when you eat the organ of an animal, it will send qi or life force to that organ. So I've in the past eaten a lot of beef kidney based on that principle. But what I didn't understand is that the kidney has both a yin tonifying and yang tonifying ability, or like constitute. I don't know how to describe it, but you can either tonify the yin of the kidney or tonify the yang male of the kidney. The way you tonify the yin of the kidney, which is what I'm going for, the female part of the kidney, which is the essence. That's what the essential material that the kidney builds all of our tissue from, where all of our energy, where our vital heat comes from. The pork is going to do that best. Beef is actually going to tonify yang, which is actually what grows our hair. But if you don't have enough yin and you're trying to tonify your yang, you're just going to exhaust your yin, or you're not even have enough to tonify the yang. Right? The yang comes from the yin. It starts with the yin. You have to have that energetic potential, right? Potential energy versus kinetic energy. It's kind of like the material science version of that. Right? You need to build your potential energy, you need to build the essence, the stored energy, before you start tonifying the yang. So beef kidney is good to eat too, but probably like 4-to-1 ratio. 4 days of pork kidney, 4 days or 1 day of beef kidney. Even that's conservatively, probably less. Probably do a lot more pork kidney at first. That's going to tonify the yin. All right, number 2, oysters, aphrodisiac. So you know, anything that is like a traditional aphrodisiac is going to be a yin tonifying food, because that So our essence is our sexual potency. It's our sexual energy. So anything that heightens our sexual potency is going to be yin tonifying. What it potentiates is our vitality. So more vitality, you have more sexual energy, the ability to reproduce, fertility. So that's why fertility, yin tonifying is great for fertility issues if you have them. All right. Raw, you can eat raw. So like in Chinese medicine, also like the way you prepare the food will have an energetic effect. So cooking it will add to the yin tonification aspect. Will make it so pork kidney, you got to cook it. Like last night, I cooked my pork kidney in beef marrow, beef bone marrow. So I used to eat it raw. Not really supposed to eat it raw. It's going to be too cold. It's going to shock your system. It's going to have a negative effect on yin. So we need to introduce warm foods into our body. But raw oysters are okay. Raw oysters are just so powerful that I guess it's okay to eat them raw. But if you want to cook them, then I think that's probably really good too. Make a stew or something out of them. But they're just so good raw. It's kind of a waste to make a stew. Speaking of stews, the next one, number 3, broth. So that really replenishes the essence, because like the kidney system is connected to our bone marrow and the connective tissue. So like anything where we're consuming our foundation, the bone marrow, the bone minerals, the sinews, that's going to really nourish our essence. That gives the kidneys the building blocks it needs to make our essence, our foundation, our bones, bone marrow, our sinews, our bones. Get that essence, essential material, essential minerals from the broth, build the essence. And the broth should be pig, chicken, duck, or fish. So beef has, it's sweet. It's considered a sweeter meat. When sweet is not great for the kidneys in large amounts. So beef is okay. If you want to make a beef broth once in a while, that's because you're eating a lot of bone marrow and you get that from beef. But too much beef is going to be too warming and it's too sweet. So pig, chicken, duck, and fish are more salty meats, and salty benefits the kidney channel, the kidney system. So that's why I emphasize those meats over the beef. Beef too sweet. Sweet helps the spleen, not the kidneys, kind of toxic to the kidneys. These are salty meats. Pig, chicken, duck, fish, those are all saltier meats. They're going to benefit the kidney system better. And that's the kidney system that we're aiming to tonify with the essence. That's our most yin organ. You want to tonify the most yin organ to get the most yin tonification effect. So that's why we're going after the kidneys. All right, fish eggs, another aphrodisiac, a food that was often quoted in the Weston A. Price studies for building female fertility, given to women during pregnancy, postpartum, given to developing children, because they have a strong vital energy to them. Yin essence tonifying quality. Another, aphrodisiac type food builds your sexual potency. All right, number 5, builds your fertility. 5, duck meat. So just straight duck. And again, it's a saltier animal, and it's really prized in Chinese cuisine, I think for this reason. They know it's a vitality meat. And it's expensive to get, kind of hard to get, so you're going to have to check. You're going to have to hunt around your local farms and see who's got some good pastured duck, because you don't want to skimp on quality. If you get like the factory farm stuff, then it's full of the hormones, the chemical injections, and the bad meat, the bad feed, which makes bad meat. So all that stuff, and then all the chemicals in the meat are going to have a yang effect, a heat generating effect. Anytime you toxify yourself, it's going to have a yang effect. You're going to generate heat, it's going to dry you out, it's going to deplete your vital essence. So get the highest quality duck you can get. And I guess that's the perfect yin food, yin meat. Meat in general is not that yin, it's kind of more yang, but there are some really potent yin tonifying meats within the animal food category. Like these will have a real strong effect. I think it kind of comports with the Weston A. Price studies. Like this is what they ate. they weren't eating ribeyes. They're carnivore. Like they're eating the milk and the bone marrow and the broths and all the yin tonifying foods. So it increases your vitality, makes benefits your teeth. That study was a lot about teeth, and the kidney system relates to your teeth. So if you have problems with your teeth, probably a yin deficiency. Eat these foods. They have a real strong yin tonifying effect, despite being animal foods. Bone marrow, number 6. This is a really important one. So you can have beef bone marrow, and raw is kind of okay too. You can cook it, or you can have it raw. The bone marrow is like strongly related to the kidney system. So when we eat that, we really tonify the essence, even if it's beef. And just beef, it's just so much easier to get beef bone marrow as opposed to pork bone marrow, which is like supposed to be way better. But like, it's just hard to get. Like you'll get it out of a broth if you cook it, but beef bones are just so easy to canoe, and they're not widely, but you have to hunt a little bit. But they're much more available than pork. I've never seen pork bone marrow bones, but you can get beef bone marrow bones, and those are good, plenty good. And then when you take the bones and make a beef broth out of it, which is not a bad yin food. All right, number 7, crab. So this is for any sort of shellfish except shrimp. So crab, lobster, clams. These are all foods or animals that live in the cold, so they're and they're salty. So cold water, salty. You're gonna have a yin tonifying effect. And I should probably put whitefish in here too. What's the whitefish off the? Really just certain types of seafood. Shellfish and whitefish are the best seafoods that have a yin tonifying effect. And then number 8, pork or chicken, Thai, pork or chicken meat. So best boiled or like lightly, I guess, sauteed, really just boiled. Roasted is bad because it dries out the meat. Anytime you dry out the meat, you're going to make it more yang. You're going to make it more drying in your body. So the more moisture you can retain in the cooking process, the more yin it's going to be. So like basically make a broth or make a braise out of pork. Pork braise, like get pig feet and like a shoulder, braise that, or braise the chicken. You want to just try to keep as much moisture in the animal as possible. It's kind of the most yin effect. Number 9, yogurt. So this is really just any fermented dairy. Dairy is itself yin because it's nourishing to the infant animal. Right? That's what gives them their vitality. So it's really linked to fertility, vital essence. It's a very yin food. And I say goat and sheep because those are the most digestible. Fermented will make the food more digestible. Anything that's more digestible is going to be more yin. So even like fermented vegetables, you're not supposed to have raw vegetables, but like fermented is good because it makes it more digestible, makes it more yin. It's going to have a moisturizing effect. It's not going to dry out. It's not going to tax the digestive system and generate heat. All right, so fermented goat and sheep dairy. Any of those is going to have a yin effect. And then finally, just straight up eggs. So the egg white is the yin, egg yolk is the yang. Yang is warming. The yolk is yellower, so it's like a warmer color, so it's more yang. Eat them together. It's a balanced food, but it is kind of more slanted to yin because it is like the essence of what the animal grows from. If that makes any sense. So it's kind of yin in nature. It's the incubator of the animal. So in that way, it's energetically yin, even though it has both yin and yang components. All right. So I feel pretty good about that 1 through 10 ranking. And then foods to avoid, like I said, beef kidney. Have that once in a while to tonify the yang, because that's really what's related to the hair growth. And then beef broth, because if you're going to be consuming a lot of beef marrow, then you're going to have leftover beef bones, and of all the possible things you can consume from a cow, the marrow and the broth are going to be the least heating and the least drying and the most yin tonifying. And once in a while, like it's not a bad food. It's not, you don't want to build your diet off of it. You want to be more pork, chicken, duck, fish, but and it's good that once in a while. It's also good to tonify that yang once in a while. Get some sweet food to support the speed of digestion. All right, so don't cut it out completely. And the organs, like other pork organs are really good too, especially pork liver. And the other beef organs are great too. And it's of the beef food, beef kidney, beef organs are going to be the best. And then the broth, avoid moderate salmon. Salmon's kind of a warm fish. It comes out from the flesh. It's more orangey than the white fish, so it's going to have more of a warming effect on the body. And then just straight up beef meat, probably want to avoid that. Like avoid the hamburger, especially grilled, because that's going to be more young. It's going to dry out. And any time you crisp up the meat, it's going to be drying. It's going to be more dry itself, and then that's kind of a drying effect, heat generating effect in the body, and more male energetic augmentation effect, which is not what we're going for with hair loss. If you're going for that, then eat beef. If you want more male, you chew yin, then you got to eat more beef. And then foods you definitely want to avoid, because these have a much stronger yang tonifying effect. More yang. There's going to be more heat. Even though they're nutritious, highly nutritious, it's going to throw our energetic balance. Not throw it, but it's going to add to the energetic imbalance. It's going to add to that male imbalance. No shrimp, lamb, or game. So these are more spicy meats, and spicy is kind of an indication of heat. You can go off taste too. Like salty is going to be cooling. Spicy is going to be heat generating. It's going to be good for the lungs. The lungs like spicy food, but it's going to be bad for the kidneys. Bad for the kidney system. Too dry, too much heat. Like I said, very nutritious, but too much heat. And then, of course, just avoid crappy meat in general. That'll also be young. Like I said, poorly fed, poorly raised livestock is going to have a yang effect, whether or not it's a yin animal. So there you go. Those are my, there you go, best animal food choices. For more information about how this whole energetic thing works in relation to hair loss, you can check out my website. It's called hairlossalchemy.com, or peruse the rest of my YouTube videos, because I got a lot of that information in the videos. And that is it. All right, that's long enough.